excited about playing. They've taken that message to heart.
Yeah, the #1 message was, are you a competitor and do you love basketball? There's a clock, there's referees, there's a ball, they're keeping score. Let's go. The other one, let's go to New York. But I'll tell you this tonight, they better be tough, because this Southern Mississippi team is tough on tough and will get after you.
Yeah, they've won 14 games this year on the road as we take a look at our one-on-one.
Well, the guard play for Minnesota has to be good, because Southern Miss, you see their steal numbers, you see their points allowed. They play a matchup 1-3-1 zone where they get after the ball, they guard the ball like man-to-man, and then they match up with others. It's a spectacular zone.
All right, let's take a look at the starting lineups. First of all, for Southern Miss, a little bit of a change in Donnie Tyndall, the head coach's starting five, as Michael Craig, their leading scorer, moves back into the starting lineup for Matt Bengaya. Watson, first team all-conference. Brooks, Brown, and Boardingham rounding out the starting five. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, Matthew, Andre Hollins, Austin Hollins, no relation, Joey King, and Elliot Eliason, the big fella in the middle, who had 7 blocks in their last game right here against St. Mary's. As we are underway. Out of bounds, it'll be Minnesota basketball now. Minnesota, mentioned it at the top of the show, they fell behind against St. Mary's 14-0. Somebody hit the snooze bar. I'm sure it's something that Coach Pitino is going to remind his team about here tonight, as Minnesota opening up on defense here. Southern Miss coming off a 8-point win against Missouri a couple of nights ago. They throw it into the post. The double team comes on Boardingham. Deep jumper by Brown, no good. Tipped up, kept alive. Out of bounds. That was off of Michael Craig. And it'll be Minnesota basketball. And Richard Pitino, the first-year head coach here at University of Minnesota, former head coach at Florida International, where his team last year won the Conference USA tournament. Matthew out top. Then tell me about this zone defense in the half court that Southern Miss likes to play.
Well, there's a couple things, Mark. They play the ball like it's man-to-man. And then when it goes to the middle, they play that like it's man-to-man or jump in front like you just saw. It's a great zone.
Sure is. They got a lot of guys undersized, but a lot of good versatile parts. And Michael Craig loses possession. Hollins draws the foul on the drive. That's Andre Hollins. That's going to go to the free throw line and get paired. Hollins had 5 points and 2 rebounds in that win against St. Mary's. There's a look at head coach Donnie Tyndall. Talk about the amount of success that they've had under him over the last couple of years. Consecutive seasons right there, but not quite in terms of that other tournament.
Well, he felt like this year they were the only team, they are the only team with over 25 regular season wins and RPI in the 30s not to make the NCAA tournament. Quite frankly, he wasn't too happy about it. Still not happy about it, even though he's having a nice tournament run here in the NIT.
Former head coach at Morehead State. Former associate head coach at Middle Tennessee State University with Kermit Davis.
People remember Donnie's team that beat Louisville first round of the NCAA tournament. Kenneth Fareed, who's playing really well in the NBA, led that team.
2-0 just underway. Gophers with the lead. Southern Miss out of Conference USA. Co-champions. Drive and a feed. Good ball movement. Jumper on the way from Brooks is good as he knocks down the 3. Brooks shoots right around 33% from downtown on the season.
This is a fun team to watch. You said it. Great ball movement. What happened last possession, there wasn't good ball movement. Donnie Tyndall got mad at his team.
That 3-pointer off the mark by Austin Hollins, and looked like one of the defenders almost came underneath him. He crashed hard to the court.
When a shot goes up, watch Southern Miss's block out. They are not good. They are great at blocking out. They're small. I mean, really small. Biggest guy is 6'5" that plays, but they block out.
The home run pass and a great completion as Gerald Brooks. Boy, that's how you break a press.
You think? Just throw it deep and go lay it in.
5-2. Eagles with the lead. Hollins inside.
And they are so fast. You can play any zone you want as long as you move fast. They are really quick to recover.
That's Andre Hollins leaving the 3 ball short and rebounded by Southern Miss. Cross-court pass jumper by Aaron Brown, and he knocks down another 3. An 8-0 run for Southern Miss.
Well, that's par for the course for Minnesota. They're used to this. 14-0 against St. Mary's. 8-0. They're not even getting started till it's 15.
Yeah, they got Southern Miss right where they want them, I guess.
Aren't they fun to watch? So, I mean, they are so aggressive. They whip the ball around on offense, and I mean, they are talking constantly defensively.
King has been on fire, Dan, recently for Minnesota. Joey King out of Eagan, Minnesota, the 6'9" sophomore. The Drake transfer gets on the scoreboard. He's been knocking them down, especially from beyond the arc.
Yeah, it started in the Wisconsin game in the Big Ten tournament. Bad game for the Gophers, but he was pretty good in it. 3 straight double-digit performances, best he's played all year.
Nice pocket pass to Craig, and Craig knocks it down. Boy, great offensive execution here in the early going by Southern Miss. Pretty efficient at the offensive end. Here's DeAndre Matthew.
Mark, watching tape on Southern Miss, it took about 2 seconds to realize if this team had made the NCAA tournament, we might be talking about them right now in the Sweet 16. I mean, this is one of those, they got 29 wins for crying out loud.
Nice feed inside. King left it short.
Well, I like what Coach Pitino's doing. They're throwing it to the corner immediately to the middle. That's a bad shot.
Sometimes a bad shot is a good shot, Coach.
No. Nice shot.
Sometimes bad is good. That's the 5th consecutive field goal made by Southern Miss, jumping all over the Gophers here in the early going. Hollins on the show and go. Draws the foul on the play from Michael Craig. That's his first personal foul. We played 4 minutes, 9-point lead for Southern Miss. A couple of subs coming in for the Eagles. Chip Armelin coming in, the former Minnesota Gopher. Number 13 coming in. And Jeremiah Eason, a JUCO transfer from the College of Central Florida. Right there, number 30. He's, as you mentioned, one of the taller players on the team at just, and I say just, 6'7". Matthew had it blocked, and Eason going to be called for goaltending. The bucket good. The Gophers off to a less than golden start when we come back to Williams Arena.
How it feels to chew 5 gum. A new mint flavor that intensifies as you chew. New 5% gum. Stimulate your senses.
Today's gonna be awesome, baby, with a count the line break. Hey, Ginny, you got a box out. Get in the picture. That works too. Nice move, baby. Hey, Beta, this kid is a diaper dandy. What a game face. Talk about a Cinderella story.
We all have a Disney side, and the best place to show it is Disney Parks. For your chance to win a Walt Disney World vacation, go to ESPN.com/sportsmagic.
Show your Disney side, baby.
Sonic totally scored with this flavor. It's like
did.
Swiss.
No, it's swish.
Why don't we settle this over a game of horse?
Yeah, try horse.
Why don't we settle this over a game of horse?
Honey mustard and Swiss chicken sandwiches are here. This is how you Sonic.
What are you doing?
Watching the tournament on my TV. What are you doing?
That is not a TV.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is, because I can watch all my TV live with the hopper from Dish.
From Dish?
Dish.
Dish.
Only Dish.
Oh, only Dish.
Uh-oh. Incoming. Hey, boss. Woo! I love working.
Do you ever work?
Dude, I'm trying to watch the game.
The Hopper from Dish brings you all your live games anywhere. Only Dish.
Who says a smart luxury vehicle has to be so well behaved?
Welcome back, everyone. Southern Miss out to a 7-point lead. Just under 16 minutes to go here. Southern Mississippi, the co-champs in Conference USA this year. Led by head coach Donnie Tyndall. There's a look at their season recap on the cusp of winning their 30th game of the season. And this is a very undersized but a very dynamic basketball team.
Well, this team plays so hard. They share the ball. You know, along with that, they rebound 19th in the country at rebound margin, meaning their number of rebounds against their opponent's number of rebounds. They block out. They're exceptionally well coached. This is a fun team to watch. If you're just joining us, sit back, relax, watch a team that plays fast, moves the ball, and is totally unafraid.
Going to be Southern Miss basketball. Deontay Houston will inbound. He'll get a chance to run the baseline. It was after a made bucket. Here's Watson. Watson, first team All-Conference USA this year. Been relatively quiet so far. Has that 1-3 ball. Floater left it short. And back come the Gophers.
Mark, you have to play two-sided. The reason I said the shot earlier was a bad shot because it just came down, took it on one side. In that possession, they just kept the ball on one side. Southern Miss has to swing the ball, and when they do, it opens up everything. All their drives, all their post action.
And now Minnesota at the other end, looking at that nice matchup 2-3, that hybrid zone that the Eagles like to play. 9 seconds left on the shot clock. Hollins will jack from deep. Walker battling inside, missed the putback, and rebounded by Southern Miss.
You can live with that if you're Richard Pitino, because you want the ball to go up and everybody attack, particularly Mo Walker. Big size advantage, just didn't finish.
And Walker came in during the last break for Eliason. They swing it around weak side. Watson had all day to tee that one up and missed the three.
He needs to shoot bad ones.
Yeah. And those open looks, those clean looks don't work for him.
You know why he got a clean look, and this is fairly odd. Walker was defending the post, and it's the second time Minnesota's come over and doubled the post. Much smaller guy, but they feel the need to double. So on rotation, nobody got back to Walker.
A little bit of a pivotal point here, Dan, as Watson picked up his second personal foul. We've only played a little over 5 minutes in the game, and their second leading scorer goes to the bench with a couple of fouls.
And more importantly, or as importantly, their guy that gets it done, and over 2-to-1 assist to turnover ratio.
Long three off the mark by Joey King. Walker with the rebound and a strong move and one. And Maurice Walker gets the first rise out of this crowd here at Williams Arena.
Kid lost 55 pounds, buys into Richard Pitino, gets to the weak side. 75% of rebounds are rebounding the other way, and now he just takes his time. And with determination, remember, last possession, he just kind of flipped the ball up there after he got a rebound. This time, he just said, hey, I'm bigger, stronger. Stop me, you can't.
The junior from Brewster Academy in Toronto, Ontario, knocks down the free throw to complete the three-point play. The lead down to 4. And now Minnesota, after seeing it go through the bucket, get a chance to set their full court pressure. Easily handled, and right now it's going to be Deontay Houston, backup point guard, running the show. Here's Brooks on the drive. Tough pass inside for Eason. Knocked out of bounds by the Gophers. It'll stay Eagles basketball. Sub coming into the ball game, and Maverick Ahanmisi has been a huge catalyst for Minnesota in the last 3 or 4 games. Actually, ever since senior night, he has really turned it up a couple of notches. Not much of an offensive threat, but had 21 in their opening round win against High Point. He came in for Minnesota. Strong move to the bucket and a foul called as Matt Bengaya drove to the cup. Well, ESPN's coverage of the NIT tournament continues on Wednesday with a quarterfinal double dip for you. First at 7, Louisiana Tech facing number 1 seed Florida State. Then at 9, number 2 seed Cal taking on number 1 seed SMU, who came back to beat LSU a couple of nights ago. Wednesday night on ESPN2. Both games also live on Watch ESPN. Was that an SMU LSU game couple of nights ago or last night? They're running together now, Dan. I'm in trouble.
It was last night. But it is definitely.
It felt like a couple of nights ago.
There's no question.
That was 4 cities ago for us. And Guy at the free throw line, a 64% foul shooter on the season.
You know, we're talking about their zone and their pressure. Southern Miss. I like what Richard Pitino's doing. They're moving the ball. They're going to get good shots, particularly Austin Hollins. They're not keeping him in one spot. I would expect through the course of the game that this kid right here gets a few good looks and he'll knock some in. Right there, give it to him. He'll knock that in.
There's Hollins, Dre Hollins, and there's the 3 ball.
Yeah, I like what they're doing with him. Richard Pitino knows his way around the zone. Had him in the corner. Then on the reversal, brought him to the top of the key. You got to find Austin Hollins if you're Southern Miss.
A 37% three-point shooter on the season. Makes it a 2-point game. As Malik Smith gets ready to emerge from the bench for Minnesota. And Guy on the drive, and that's going to be a jump ball. The possession arrow in favor of the Gophers. And they'll have a chance to tie it up here as Malik Smith comes into the ball game, number 30 right there. He has been out of the rotation for the last couple of games. Some very cold shooting has kept him on Pitino's bench, but he's getting a shot here, Dan.
Didn't play last game against St. Mary, and when you say cold shooting, you couldn't be more right. Combine the cold shooting, or maybe because of some ridiculously bad shots that he's taken. And Richard Pitino doing the smart thing, getting him back in, see if he can get going.
They get a turnover and a slam at the other end by Aaron Brown. Boy, you really see Southern Miss's quickness when they extend their defense, Dan.
Man, they're alert. They are really alert. I mean, they look for the next guy. They communicate the back line of the zone really well.
There's Misi, Matthew out top.
We could go hit a shot then. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, to back up the next time too.
He had a notion. Here's Smith. 7 on the shot clock for Matthew. Misi from downtown, and that's the way he's been knocking him down of late. That's part of the reason why Smith has been on the bench too.
Yeah, kid barely played all year long as a senior, and now he's, as you said, really come on.
1-point ball game.
And you got to like kids like that, Mark. I mean, you know, you're in your senior year. You could give up. You could be a pain. But he chose to keep working, and Richard Pitino's rewarding him.
Jump hook a little bit short on that one by Boardingham. Out of bounds. It'll be Southern Miss basketball.
Now that time, Minnesota didn't double. Made Boardingham go up over the bigger Walker. Richard Pitino saw they gave up 2 buckets, but 2 really good-looking shots the 2 times they decided to double. All right, NBA thing right here, Mark.
Talk to me.
Austin Hollins just drills a 3.
Right.
And you take him out.
Coach might have seen something. Not sure.
Do they ever do that in the NBA?
No, you've got to milk that a little bit.
You go to him until he drops, right?
Yep. Milk that until it's dry.
That's what
was it, Andre or Austin Hollins that made that last 3?
It was Austin.
It was Austin, right. I'm sure you're right. Off the steal, they got a 3-on-1. Misi took it himself and missed. Wow. A golden opportunity. Nice pass inside, and Boardingham flushes that one. The lead back to 3 for Southern Miss. Dre Hollins over midcourt. Misi. Smith thought about it. Walker double team. Good ball moving by the Gophers, but Southern Miss right there. A whistle, and that's going to be a foul against the Eagles.
One of the best but most difficult things to do is interior pass. This is a great interior pass by Southern Miss, and Boardman with the jam. That's not as easy as it looks, folks.
2014 RLX Sport Hybrid with super handling all-wheel drive. A more natural performance.
It's gonna save us a ton. Sprint can call it whatever they want.
Come on, family is not a word.
Is the F from family, or is it from friends? Or did they just add an R?
Forget about that. It's not a word.
Dad, it's like spork or keytar. You're my father, I'm your friend. This is our family.
You can't mush words together like that.
Mais tu aimes le brunch, papa?
Oh, guilty as charged. Daddy does love brunch.
With rates as low as $25 a month each, who are you going to add to your Sprint family?
Happy connecting.
Take that, Jersey Tucker.
That's a technical, sunshine. You know the rules. We play hard, but we don't play dirty. A good sport shakes hands, win or lose. So get back out there and make good.
Sorry, man. I got next round.
Hey, drinks on this guy.
Grab a seat. The game is on.
Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings, beer, sports.
Hey, what about me?
Good offensive start for both teams here at the barn in Minneapolis. Home team down by 3 as we go inside the play, Dan Dockett.
Well, we just showed you a dunk by Southern Miss off of a post double. Watch right here. This is Watson, and watch his man, Austin Hollins, go and double the post. And watch what ends up happening here. Watson goes opposite. Hollins stops strong inside. Ball gets reversed, and he's got the entire side of the floor to shoot from. He missed a shot, but every time Minnesota has post doubled, a great look has ensued. Last possession, it was a dunk. Time before, it was a wide open 3.
Well, men's ice hockey skates toward the Frozen Four regional semifinal action in Bridgeport and Cincinnati beginning Friday at 2 Eastern on ESPNU and watch ESPN. Find information on every championship at NCAA.com, the official online home for all 89 NCAA championships. Mark Jones courtside along with Dan Dockett. There's King. Double team on Walker. Ahanmisi tees it up and knocks down another 3. This guy's on some kind of roll, Dan.
Yes, he looked confident too. That's a little inside out. He moved into the proper spot, knocked it in.
Nothing like a little senior urgency when you sense it all coming to its final moments. Here's Armelin, the former Minnesota Gopher. Transferred after the 2010 season. 2011 year, actually. Nice spin move, a little bit strong off glass. Michael Craig missed everything. And now Minnesota with a chance to take the lead. Long jumper by Malik Smith off the mark.
That's the Malik Smith we know and love right there.
Those are the ones that have you looking over at the bench after you miss. And a punch by Boardingham. Boy, he's got some explosiveness.
He's a good-looking player. He's a strong kid, talks, finds himself in the right spot. Not the most skilled kid, but knows where to go on the court, makes up for it.
Not sure whether he's a little bit gassed or what the deal is, but after that dunk, he looked over the bench, tugged on his jersey, raised his hand, said, "Coach, come and get me," something along those lines. Here's Dre Hollins missing this 3. And Southern Miss out and running, whistle, contact, and a blocking foul as Watson went to the bucket.
Well, basketball's an odd game. You're going to see right here on the drive, Boardingham goes to the right spot, dunks it. Now, used to be a dunk would get you excited. You'd never want to come out. But now you see him going up.
He's holding that left hand, I think, Dan.
All right, we'll give him that then. He hit it on the rim.
It had to. Well, yeah, something well, I don't know if you can relate to that, but
no.
Watson hit the free throw line. Knocks down the first team all-conference USA. Led the team in assists this year. And maybe their most vital cog. As you see Boardingham writhing a little bit of pain there on the bench. Watson, a 92% foul shooter, cashes in on both. And Southern Miss up by 4. The winner of this game takes on either Florida State or Louisiana Tech and goes to New York. Matthew with the ball. Here's something we haven't talked about yet. This guy with the ball DeAndre Matthew, former walk-on at Morehead State, actually played for Donnie Tyndall when Tyndall was the head coach at Morehead State, was a walk-on, didn't get a lot of playing time, and then the following year as a sophomore asked coach for a scholarship. Coach wasn't quite sure as to the level of his commitment, but said if he came back one more year he would put him on scholarship. Not enough for Matthew, who went the junior college route. Put back good by Bengaya.
And Donnie Tyndall has been catching grief about that.
Yes.
But you know what? You win 29 games, that grief isn't real.
Can't argue it.
I don't know how it happened, but it's okay. We're ready.
When the things that matter most are on the line, make sure we are too. The Fire and Water Cleanup Team at 1-800-SERVE-PRO. Like it never even happened.
Fighting constipation by eating healthier, drinking plenty of water, but still not getting relief? Try Dulcolax Laxative Tablets. Dulcolax is comfort-coated for gentle overnight relief. Dulcolax, predictable overnight relief you can count on.
Welcome back, everyone. Mark Jones courtside along with Dan Dockich. Just putting a period on that DeAndre Matthews story. He went to College of Central Arizona. Had a great year there, signed late by Richard Pitino, and has had a lot of success here at Minnesota. So things worked out for both parties.
Yeah, and Donnie Tyndall has, people have asked him about it, and he did leave and take the Southern Miss job. So it was kind of, they both left at the same time, really. He was going to give Matthew a scholarship the last 2 years. This is the guy.
Hollins off the mark. That's Austin Hollins. And back comes Southern Miss, leading by 6. Nice feed inside. Jeremiah Eason. Eason out of a great JUCO program, the Mid-Florida Conference. College of Central Florida, former national JUCO champs a season ago with a nice bucket inside.
They make basketball look easy. Southern Miss does. Just play together, hustle, compete like crazy.
Yeah, this is a high motor team, Dan. Oh. Walker posting up, nice cross-court pass. Hollins from downtown, one and done at the offensive end for Minnesota. And a chance to push this lead now to double figures. A quick jack, and no good. Long 3 that time by Brooks. Matthew, and he's on the scoreboard. That might ignite him a little bit. He had 14 points against St. Mary's. A whistle and a foul going to be called against Matthew. Timeout on the floor. They say revenge is a dish best served cold. I think he had his hand in the freezer. Getting ready for this one.
Who says a smart luxury vehicle has to be so well behaved?
Pacers is another team that don't like us.
1, 2, 3.
Since they hate us, then I guess we got to return the favor. We're the defending champions, so you want to beat the defending champions.
It's the top 2 teams in the East. Every game against these guys is going to be a statement game.
We're fighting to be the top dog, the last man standing.
They're a team that we have to go through to get to where we want to get to, and that's the finals.
The beasts of the East collide. Heat, Pacers, tomorrow at 8 Eastern on ESPN, presented by State Farm.
Out here, there are no cheat codes, no avatars, no magic stars. This does not require an operating system or a username or password. And there will not be better versions of these games coming out next year. There's nothing like the good of sport. This week only, save up to 30% on running apparel, footwear, and accessories from ASICS, Adidas, and Champion. Sports Authority, all things sporting good.
Big news, baseball fans. For the first time ever, MLB Extra Innings on DirecTV includes MLB.tv. Now you can follow all the action at home, online, on your tablet, and your phone. Almost 100 live games a week. Every team, no matter where you live. Every player, no matter where you go. Even preview up to 8 games all on one channel. It's a steal. Game-changing features at a game-saving price. Put the game in your hands with MLB.tv and MLB Extra Innings on DirecTV.
Welcome back to the barn, Minnesota. A bit of a hole right here, and some of the Minnesota Timberwolves on hand watching the game tonight. Ricky Rubio and J.J. Barea. Hey, does this guy Blake Hoffarber bring back any memories?
I can't say the name.
What is it about him that first jumps off the page at you when he played here in Minnesota? Or is there anything? Tough one?
Yeah, a career ender.
Oh, really? Wow.
With 1.5 seconds to go.
Wow, alley-oop up top. But Boardingham didn't have a chance to get to the top floor. Hollins in transition. Matthew with his second bucket, a 3-ball that time.
Yeah, really good offense. You know, just keep it going. They've gotten pretty good looks. That time in transition, Hollins could have jacked the bad one. Instead, he found the next.
And folks, just to finish up on that story, Hoffarber, who played here at Minnesota, had a very painful shot against my colleague in the conference tournament. Quarterfinal action a few years back.
Yeah, he did. And give him credit. I mean, he had a tough shot at the buzzer to beat us. So I can't mention his name.
Okay. We understand. 3-point game. Hollins on the dribble handoff to Austin Hollins. Hollins, one of those seniors from Minnesota, trying to leave the barn successfully for the last time in their career. King rimmed out. Loose ball, and Southern Miss just a step quicker tonight. They got a 2-on-1, and that's how you finish a 2-on-1. Michael Craig up top.
That started by just heart. Southern Miss went after the rebound. Minnesota was standing around. Next thing you know, it's a dunk. Stand against Southern Miss, and you've got a real problem. Watch this. Rebounds off, stand around. Nope, Southern Miss quicker to the ball. And what I liked is he got the ball and immediately got it to the guard and started transition.
Tell you what, their engine is always revving in 5th gear. Out of bounds, it'll be Minnesota basketball. Austin Hollins, the 6'4" senior from Germantown, going to inbound it from Minnesota.
One of the best coaches in the country, Todd Kowalczyk from Toledo, who's done an unbelievable job of bringing that program back. I called him. They played him in the first round. I said, tell me about Southern Miss. You know, actually, I texted him, and he said, tough. Really, really tough. They sent me a scouting report, and that's all. It was just like, you know, this guy really tough. Stay down, find him.
Kind of redundant, right?
Yep. And we're seeing it.
In transition, Deontay Houston on the drive. Tough shot, and draws the foul on the play from Elliot Eliason. Well, coverage of the Division I Men's Basketball Championship Regional Semis begins Thursday on CBS and TBS at 7 p.m. For more information on game times and listings, go to ncaa.com. And of course, Richard Pitino's dad will be a part of that as Louisville takes on Kentucky. Who do you like in that game? I got to ask.
I picked Louisville. I said Louisville's the best team in the country before the tournament. I actually said it a few weeks before. I had them mark in a game where I think they're still beating Rutgers. You know, and so I just think they're really good. But man, Calipari's won 5 of 6 against Pitino, and a whole lot of people coming to Indy because hour and a half, 2 hours from Louisville, 3 hours from Lexington.
Nice steal on that play, and almost a 3-point opportunity for Bengayan. Hey, what about the other game in that region? Your son, a player at Michigan, and who are you taking in that Michigan game?
I'm going to take Michigan because one thing I've learned is you don't bet against John Beilein in the NCAA tournament. But I talked to Konzo Martin today, and you know, talking about his team, he's just so happy with what the two big guys, Maimon and Stokes, have done and how they progressed here late, particularly in a leadership mode and knowing who they are.
I was in the SEC for most of the year. That Tennessee is as dangerous as any team right now in the tournament. You're right.
You like their wings, too. I mean, Richardson and McCray.
Yeah. McCray's probably a pro, and Richardson has really elevated the level of his play in the last 3 games.
Who do you like?
I'm going to go with the upset. I'm going to take Tennessee. I think they guard people as well as anyone in the tournament right now.
They're playing. I think they and Baylor are the two teams playing as well, if not better than anybody.
8-point ball game here. About 5.5 to go.
They've got to get Austin Hollins a look. King's shooting, other guys are shooting, but it's time for Hollins to move around. He's staying too much on the right side.
Eliason inside, the big fella. finding his way to the bucket that time, his first field goal. You know, when you look at Eliason and Walker at that center position, you combine that, you get about 12 points and, 10 rebounds out of that spot.
Eliason has really struggled late. 1 bucket since the 9th of March, but you're right. I mean, all year long, he's been a surprise for him.
Nice face-up move and a knockdown jumper by Boardingham. Wow.
Boardingham just beasted him on the block and put his heels on the paint, turned and shot right over him. I think Eliason was expecting a fake, but Boardman not faking, he's just going.
8-point lead for Southern Miss. Austin Hollins with the 3 as he gets unplugged a little bit.
Yeah, he's got to. He's the guy. These other guys are shooting, I think, a little too quick. They got to give time for Austin Hollins to move around a little bit.
Michael Craig with a nice spin move, couldn't cash in. And Southern Miss gets another 50-50 ball. A play on, and that's exactly what Deontay Houston did. Play on. Southern Miss leading by 7 and 1. Austin Hollins. Now from our vantage point and our angle, can't tell, was that a 3? It appeared to be a 3 ball.
And he's going to line shooting for 4 here. His shot looks good. Even the one, he missed one long dead on from that same spot. He's the guy. He's going to have to be the guy today to carry Minnesota.
He's going to go to the free throw line and try and complete the 4-point play. If you don't already know, Austin Hollins, the son of Lionel, former NBA champion with the Portland Trail Blazers under Jack Ramsey, and former player with the 76ers as well later in his career, and also former head coach of the Memphis Grizzlies.
Did a great job.
Yeah, led them to a franchise record for wins. Still trying to figure out that move by the Grizzlies organization, but as he's had a chance to enjoy his son's basketball games this year. A deep 3 by Armelin off the mark and rebounded with a chance to pull to within 1 or tie on a 3. Here's Austin Hollins again, and we're tied at 35. That jumper wet.
Early in the game, he made a 3. They took him out. Don't take him out. Feed this man. Bench loves him. Feed him again.
He's had 10 consecutive points now for Minnesota. And he is playing in his 139th game. That's a school record. There's a guy bound, poised, and determined to take his team to New York for the semifinals of the NIT.
That was Donnie Tyndall hostile at his perimeter at the timeout. And he's hostile about not finding Holland. Right? You know, he is the guy that's going. Find him first. Guard the bucket first, I guess, and then find Austin Hollins.
Let's see how Southern Miss responds out of this timeout.
This has to be a drive, Mark. You can't set Armelin set for a jump shot last time down. This has to be some ball reversal and either something inside or a drive.
Here's Armelin, the former Minnesota Gopher. Watson on the wing. Good defense. Bengaya tied up, and he gets ripped. A chance for Minnesota to take the lead. And swing it around weak side. On Misi, missed it. Hollins with the rebound, got it. And the Gophers have the lead by a bucket. Is this game a little higher scoring than you thought it might be, or is this about right?
Well, you know, you have to match what Southern Miss is going to do, and they force you to take shots.
Off the dribble handoff. Jeremiah Eason got fouled inside. Much to the disdain of the crowd here at the barn. Back with more on the other side of this.
Dodgers Padres, Sunday at 8. Baseball rules on ESPN.
If they make this, I'll eat the blazing wings.
This is no time for a change of heart, because before contracts with our size of Texas, a man's word meant something. So get back out there and show them what you got. Go, 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 go. You got it. Go, 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 go.
That's one.
Grab a seat. The game is on.
Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings, beer, sports.
You okay, big cat?
Be one with it, and it will be one with you. Be one with your tires, and the road will be one with you. Hang up tires.
Staples has everything you need to keep a germ-free office. From gloves to wipes to cleaners. Everything. Except germ-free coworkers. Thousands of products added every day to Staples.com. Even protective suits. Staples. Make more happen.
And that is it. Super Bowl champions.
Sonny, I hope you're listening. Can you please do something tonight to turn this thing around?
They're not going to believe what's happening.
Just made a trade with the Seahawks.
The Cleveland Browns are now on the clock.
What did you have to give up for the #1 pick?
You've gone rogue. What's happening? Who you pick? You're out of your mind. Well, everyone, just shut up.
I quit, Sonny. Don't quit. You don't like this.
Draft Day, rated PG-13, in theaters April 11th.
Hello, gentlemen. Andrew, could you send me the revised deck, please?
The revised deck.
I can do that.
Your Samsung can do that? Mm-hmm. Mine can't do two things at once.
Huh.
Andrew, are you okay?
Yeah.
He's just brainstorming.
You're a stormy in here.
Let's go to slide 6. Andrew, what happened to your tablet?
The next big thing is here. Do two things at once on the Galaxy Note Pro with multi-window. Available at Verizon.
All right, Coach here in studio. Coming up on the halftime report, UConn. They're going to the Sweet 16 for the 21st straight year. Another blowout win for them. Also, Clemson, how they got it done in the NIT. They're headed to NYC. LaFonso Ellis joins me in a couple of minutes, guys.
All right, thanks a lot, guys. And there's a look at the draw. Florida State and Louisiana Tech out of Conference USA. Boy, what a strong conference. Some good teams in that conference this year. Talk about Kermit Davis and Middle Tennessee State, Louisiana Tech, and this team here, Southern Miss. Right now, though, Austin Hollins has done a fantastic job giving Minnesota a 2-point lead. Scored 12 straight points, and that ends the drought for Southern Miss in a blink.
That was a circle, screen the screener, and then screen the screener again. I've not seen that out of bounds play all year, and ended up as a 3 for Brown. That was a terrific out of bounds play. Coaches, DVR that one.
Minnesota getting a steady diet of zone defense in the half court from Southern Miss. King got a rare open look from the elbow and knocked it down.
King's been hanging in there and getting pretty good looks. He's gotten good looks out on the wing, too. What's supposed to happen in this zone is when the guy gets the ball in the middle, it's man-to-man. A little bit late there for Southern Miss.
Yeah, King, a tough dude. Had his jaw wired for a game earlier this year. And kept plodding along. Turnaround shot, no good. Whistle and a foul inside as Aaron Brown in amongst the trees. And let's take one more look at that ATO.
This was pretty good. Play. All right, there's an inside screen. Then there's a screen to screener, and then there's a pop-up. It's a heck of an out-of-bounds play.
Lots of moving parts, but it worked.
I think when I originally analyzed it, I had one extra screen-to-screener action, but it was still a great look.
Different play this time. Great drive, but no finish from Brooks. A whistle out of bounds. It'll be Minnesota basketball. Leading by 1 with 1.5 to go here. Walker comes out. Eliason comes back into the game.
Tell you what I like about Richard Pitino. I like the fact that he's not afraid to get on players. I'm sure they love him. I'm sure he's with them. The man on the court or coming off the floor, he is absolutely not afraid. He's all over.
In a short corner against that zone, and they find the soft spot. Andre Hollins knocks down the short jumper, and Minnesota with its biggest lead of the game so far.
I mean, I love what they're doing against the zone. Richard Pitino really good. Getting guys in the right spot, moving people around. Minnesota really comfortable.
And Craig turns it over, meanwhile, on the baseline. He was waiting for a little bit of movement, looking over at Watson, saying, hey, man, help me out.
And he's right. Throw it on the baseline. You got an extra defender down there. You see Richard Pitino, but Watson ought to say, give me the ball. Don't throw it to the corner. I'll help you out.
There's Hollins. Minnesota looking for its 23rd win of the season. More importantly, a trip to New York City for the winner of this game. And a semifinal appearance in the NIT. An egregious turnover by Eliason. That never had a chance, but he snuffed it out, but they're going to call it goaltending. Good anticipation and bucket by Neil Watson. Good hustle by Eliason. Trying to atone for that bad pass right here.
Man, this was a bad pass, but watch Eliason sprint down the floor. Let's see. Yeah, it hit the backboard. Once it hits the backboard, you can't touch it. He's the wrong guy in the middle of the zone. It has to be King. When he gets in the middle of the zone, he's just, you can see, not comfortable at all, whether it's turning the face or passing out of it.
Our cameraman Travis took one for the team right there. Travis Johnson. Under a minute to go. Shot clock is off. Minnesota going to get the last one off here. Who do you like them going to or looking for?
Well, you're going to run Austin Hollins somewhere on the baseline, take it away from him and bring it back.
Making a move here with 6. There's Austin Hollins, popped out to the elbow this time. Good call, partner. Minnesota scoring on 8 of its last 9 possessions. And a great sprint into the locker room on a hot streak with the lead. Looking for a trip to New York City. Starting to cook a little bit. And Jonathan, you can't cook with cold grease. They're heating up right now. Leading by 4 at the break. Back to you.
All right, guys, thank you so much. Great first half there. Welcome into the halftime report. Jonathan Coachman, LaFonso Ellis. Earlier tonight, our first game, Belmont Clemson, the winner to NYC, KJ McDaniels. Do you think he's coming back?
KJ Daniels is definitely coming back. The improvement in his game from last year to this year, incredible. One more year under his belt, he'd be a deep ball stroker, too.
All right, Clemson down 1, 2 minutes to play. Check out the move to Marcus Harrison. Clemson goes up 1. Still up 1. Oh, my goodness.
Wow, shades of their game against Illinois. He won them 1 on a shot just like that.
Well, you saw that game on Sunday, and tonight the same raucous crowd. So Clemson moves on. They will play April 1st. The game on ESPN, they will play the winner of SMU and Cal. That game will be tomorrow. So our game here, Fonz, the coach here, high-scoring first half, and we saw Southern Miss 29 wins on the year. I said to you, how did they not get into the tournament? They look really good, comfortable on the road.
They're fun to watch. As you talk about these two teams, they're very similar. They really like to pressure you, try to speed the basketball game up, and then both of them dropping back to a 2-3 zone. And so the team that has been able to operate against the 2-3 zone most effectively has been the team that's taken the lead. In this case, Minnesota's been able to knock down threes. 8 made threes in the first half, and that's really been the difference in this game.
All right, so that is the men's side. The women's tournament is continuing tonight. Second round matchups, UConn and Fonz. I tell you what, Connecticut women.
Can you shake your head like
that?
Well,
20 straight years they've gone to the Sweet 16. This will make 21, and that is Stephanie Dolson. Such a big presence inside.
Oh, so good. And when she's going inside, it opens up their game outside. 10 made threes for UConn in this game.
Kalina Mosqueda-Lewis. We'll get back to her in a second because she made history tonight. Second half, you see the score of 34, and that's Bria Hartley. St. Joe's, no match for UConn. They win by 39. I mentioned Kalina Mosqueda-Lewis. She has a triple-double, making her the 14th player ever with a triple-double in the NCAA Women's Championship. First since Skylar Diggins did it in the Elite Eight of the 2012 tournament. She went to Notre Dame.
Oh, that's right.
Turkey. North Carolina, Diamond DeShields becomes the all-time ACC freshman scoring champion. She passed that tonight. They win by 9. Penn State wins at home. In Maryland, they are going to the Sweet 16 for the 3rd straight year as they knock off Texas. All right, the late window tonight. Louisville, the 3 seed, taking on Iowa. Sony Ishimo playing some defense when she was really on offense. And that is tough right there. And Louisville on the road up by 7 about halfway through the first half. James Madison, could they pull the upset on the Aggies? That game is early. South Carolina, the top seed, but they'll have to travel all the way out west if they go to the Sweet 16. And LSU, an early lead on West Virginia. We'll keep you up to date on all of those. Shabazz Napier, the man to my left, said he's the best player in the tournament right now. Is UConn that good? We'll talk about them.
Is that my Wendy's salad? Please, with these ingredients? Oh, look, a Wendy's cup. Yeah, mine. Okay, that's mine too.
Make no mistake, Wendy's new salads are irresistible, like the new barbecue ranch or Asian cashew chicken.
Now that's better.
I don't know about you, but I have always wanted to go and see a lion up close. This zoom lens is amazing. Go and smell the roses.
Scottrade knows our clients trade and invest their own way.
With Scottrade Smart Techs, I can quickly understand my charts and spend more time trading. Their quick trade bar lets my account follow me online, so I can react in real time. Plus, my local Scottrade office is there to help. Because they know I don't trade like everybody. I trade like me. I'm with Scottrade.
Ranked highest in investor satisfaction with self-directed services by J.D. Power & Associates.
Are you okay, Mom? Yes, I am.
Life insurance from New York Life can help your family keep good going.
Feels pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah. Boom. Damn. Yes.
Honey. Seriously?
Lowe's wide line of outdoor power equipment includes Cobalt, Husqvarna, Troy-Bilt, and John Deere. Buy a Cobalt handheld outdoor power tool and get a free battery.
Is that my Wendy's salad? Please, with these ingredients? Oh, look, a Wendy's cup. Yeah, mine. Okay, that's mine too.
Make no mistake, Wendy's new salads are irresistible, like the new barbecue ranch or Asian cashew chicken.
Now that's better.
And in a clinical trial versus Lipitor, Crestor got more high-risk patients' bad cholesterol to a goal of under 100.
Way to go, Crestor! Yeah!
Getting the goal is a big deal, especially if you have high cholesterol plus any of these risk factors, because you could be at increased risk for plaque buildup in your arteries over time. So when diet and exercise aren't enough to lower cholesterol, adding Crestor can help.
Go, Crestor!
Crestor is not right for everyone, like people with liver disease or women who are nursing, pregnant, or may become pregnant. Tell your doctor about other medicines you're taking. Call your doctor right away if you have muscle pain or weakness, feel unusually tired, have loss of appetite, upper belly pain, dark urine, or yellowing of skin or eyes. These could be signs of rare but serious side effects.
Crestor. Yes!
Ask your doctor about Crestor. If you can't afford your medication, AstraZeneca may be able to help.
Welcome back to the College Basketball Halftime Report.
He's a hometown hero with a dangerous team.
That's what makes Iowa State so good. They play for one another.
Now, the mayor is ready to take the Cyclones to new heights as they blaze their way to the Final Four.
You know, storylines in the NCAA tournament are always great, and Friday night, Madison Square Garden, that's good enough. But how about this? The head coaches, Kevin Ollie, Fred Hoiberg, they played for the Bulls together in 2001, so they know each other just a little bit. And I'm sure when they talk to their point guards, who will both be playing in the show at some point, that they will have some advice. What will that advice be?
Well, that advice is simply going to be this. You're talking about two guys who played in the NBA before, coaching each of their teams, and it's all about taking advantage of mismatches. This is going to be an unbelievable matchup between two terrific guards, with DeAndre Kane starting with Iowa State, a 6'4" point guard who does a lot of his damage down in the box. The Mayor's going to take advantage of any mismatch that they have, going to post him on the low block. He's had an outstanding tournament, 19 points per game, getting his work, getting busy down in the low box. For Shabazz Napier, it's all about isolation situations for him, getting him in situations where he can use his jab step, his crossover dribble to get to the basket. You're talking about a guy that produces 44% of UConn's offense, and he does it on plays like this. If it's at the end of a game, short clock situations, I want the basketball in the hands of Shabazz Napier. This is going to be a colossal matchup between two of the best point guards in the country.
You know, there's a lot of people from this area that were like, they saw UConn, they saw the brackets, they said, hey, a train down in New York City. It's going to be rocking at the Garden on Friday night.
It's going to be
game one.
insane.
It's going to be great. It's going to be great. All right, we've got some headlines in college basketball. Billy Donovan, he's going nowhere. 3-year extension. He'll make an average of $3.7 million. Tom Izzo says, I am not going to coach the Detroit Pistons. He said, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, when referring to the Spartans program. And Wayne Selton Jr. of Kansas, he is returning for his sophomore year. Much more after this.
Like the wallpaper sticks to the wall, you never get rid of your shadow, and you'll never get rid of me. It's gonna be a wild, wild week for my shadow and me.
Rated M for mature. Buy Xbox One. Get Titanfall.
Trust in me in all you do. Have the faith I have in you. Love will see us through.
Introducing the tailor-made SLDR guarantee. If you don't trust your new distance, we'll take it back. No questions asked.
There's one. What is that?
It's my Dale call.
That's way better than my duck call.
If you're on a diet of taking it up a notch,
It's just different.
drink Diet Dew, the only diet with dew in it.
Hey, guys.
Sorry we're late.
Did you run into traffic?
No, just had to stop by the house to grab a few things.
You stop by the house?
Uh-huh. All right, whenever you get your stuff, run upstairs, get cleaned up for dinner.
You leave the house in good shape?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Last-second field goal.
Yeah, sure you did.
Introducing AT&T Digital Life. Personalized home security and automation. Get professionally monitored security for just $29.99 a month, with limited availability in select markets.
Man, these honey mustard and Swiss chicken sandwiches good or what?
Sonic totally scored with this flavor, man. It's like Swiss.
No, it's swish.
No, the sound a basketball makes going through a net.
Swish is the
Swiss.
sound. Swish is the sound of the ball
It's
going
Swiss.
through the net. Swish.
Okay, why don't we settle this over a game of horse?
Yeah, try horse.
Okay, why don't we settle this over a game of horse?
Did you hear the news? Honey mustard and Swiss chicken sandwiches are here. And start your day with the 99-cent morning drink stop. This is how you Sonic.
This telecast is copyrighted by the NIT for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or any picture, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NIT's consent is prohibited.
2 more tickets punched in New York City on Wednesday night. First, Louisiana Tech, Florida State. They will meet at 7 Eastern time. And then Cal and Larry Brown's SMU Mustangs, 9 Eastern. Both games on ESPN2. Also the Watch ESPN app. Other news today, Ralph Wilson, the only owner the Buffalo Bills have ever had, has passed away at the age of 95. Under Wilson, the Bills won the AFL championship in 1964 and 65, and the Bills the only team to ever go to 4 straight Super Bowls. Wilson, Ralph Wilson, dead at the age of 95.
It is more than just a new car. More than a new interior lighting system. It is more than a hot stone massage. And more than your favorite scent infused into the cabin. It is a completely new era of innovation and the highest expression of Mercedes-Benz. Introducing the 2014 S-Class. The best or nothing.
I don't know who they are, but I love them.
Oh, me too. Because I went there. I didn't just hop on the bandwagon.
Save the speech, kid. Sure, it's your Cinderella story, but this time of year, everyone gets invited to the ball. So share some school spirit and teach them that fight song of yours.
We're the mighty Ospreys.
Grab a seat. The game is on.
Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings, beer, sports.
Mighty Ospreys. Soar, 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 soar.
My name is Frank Vogel, and I'm a professional basketball coach.
Coach, how important are decision-making skills in your profession?
Well, very important.
Well, then, as a seasoned decision-maker, which bar would you choose? This one that only cleans, or this one that cleans with 1/4 moisturizer?
That one.
Thank you for your time.
You serious? That's all you need?
Yep.
More care is better. It's an easy decision. Dove Men Plus Care Bar cleans and protects against.
It gives you a tremendous sense of pride to own your own business.
We sell ourselves. We sell our name. We sell our image. We want that image to stick.
I'm always introducing myself. I'm always handing out cards.
Vistaprint allows business owners to more effectively and affordably promote their business.
The fact that we use Vistaprint to put our name out in the community in everything that we do just goes to show the level of confidence that we have in Vistaprint.
The easy-to-use tools and templates at Vistaprint.com make it simple to look professional and coordinate your marketing across everything from business cards to websites to postcards and more. See how easy today. Enter promo code TV250 and get 250 cards for just $10.
250 cards, you can leave a lot of impressions with that.
I have about 20 to 50 business cards on me at any time.
Enter promo code TV250 today and we'll cover the shipping for free.
I'm not sure there is much else you can do for $10 from a marketing standpoint.
Vistaprint.com.
And welcome back, everyone, to Williams Arena, where Minnesota leads Southern Miss. The #1 seed leading by 4, 44-40, just 20 minutes away from New York City. Here's a look at the brackets. The winner of this game will take on #1 seed Florida State or #3 seed Louisiana Tech. A potential matchup between a couple of Conference USA teams, but Minnesota right now trying to flip that script around and make it 33rd Street and 7th Avenue, Madison Square Garden. Mark Jones courtside along with Dan Dockage. Minnesota once again trailed early in the game. Dan, how were they able to finish that first half so strong offensively?
Two things. They stopped turning the ball over. 4 turnovers for the entire half on 13 assists. And they got the ball to Austin Hollins. That guy right there, number 20, on fire. Yeah, he made a 3. They took him out when they put him back in. He made 4 more. Kid has 18 points. Basketball not that hard. Find the guy that's hot and get him the ball.
Austin Hollins, one of the seniors on this team, looking to extend his season, and in particular tonight, play his last home game and go out a winner. Eliason over to Joey King and knocks down the baseline jumper.
Yeah, that's just terrific by Richard Pitino. He rolled Hollins both sides of the floor. He rolled Joey King both sides of the floor, overloaded the left, or right, excuse me. Terrific offense.
Good denied defense. They force the turnover. Austin Hollins, a key part again. Well, let's take a look at competitive edge in the game presented by Principal Financial Group. And Hollins really got it going towards the latter part of the first half, especially from downtown. DeAndre Matthew, the Morehead State transfer, and JUCO star, playing a vital role as well.
This is a dangerous time for Southern Miss. Southern Miss looks a little whipped here. They need to make, like right there, first half, they were on that ball.
Got a nice bounce and got the loose ball. Hollins slips on a wet part of the court. Numbers at the other end, a whistle and a foul going to be called against Minnesota. That's going to go against DeAndre Matthew. That's his third. He got into early foul trouble, and now with 3, if you're Pitino, is it a risk to keep him in here, or do you zoom down, or what?
He really needs him against this zone, and I think Richard Pitino sees the same thing that we're seeing, which is, you know what, Southern Miss not a lot of energy here. If we can handle the ball, move it around a little bit, we're going to be in business.
That's going to be a foul against Austin Hollins. Little shove from behind, and that's going to send Southern Miss to the free throw line. A chance to stop the bleeding here. Down by 6 with 19:01 to go here. Trip to New York City on the line. Minnesota trying to go back to the NIT semis for the second time in the last 3 years. They made it to New York in 2012. Actually won the NIT back in 1998. One of a couple of times they've done that. As Boardingham knocks down the foul shot, a 67% free throw shooter.
Richard Pitino can really coach. It's just going to be a matter of time. He gets his guys in here that understand what he wants and totally committed to him. Pretty good year this year, but the best, I believe, yet to come.
Finished up 8-10 in conference play this year in the Big Ten. King with a quick trigger, missed it this time. And rebounded by Michael Craig. Michael Craig got the start again tonight after coming off the bench the last several games. Out top to Neil Watson. Boardingham squares up on Eliason. Tough move. Couldn't finish over the length of Eliason. Matthew. Ten on the shot clock. That time Hollins off the mark. Southern Miss in a rush at the other end. A whistle, and that's going to be an offensive foul against Michael Craig.
Well, when you throw the ball backwards in transition, a lot of times offensive foul or missed shot ensues. I thought the defense was tremendous by Minnesota. Defensive transition is the least taught thing in college basketball. It's pretty simple. First guy, get your head under the basket, take away a layup. Second guy, stop the ball, everybody fill in. That time getting back, putting your head under the bucket resulted in a charge. Here's why I don't like Elias in the middle of the zone. Nobody has to guard him.
They got it to him that time. Made a move and got it to fall.
Made a move and took 3 steps and got it to fall.
Little shuffle. 7-point lead. Minnesota's largest of the game.
Yeah, I'm good with Eliason down there on the block, but making decisions in the middle of the zone, that's got to be King's move.
Little pick and roll. Nice kick out and drive. A play on underneath. A little bit of contact. Donnie Tyndall looked for the call. Couldn't get one for Brown. And back the other way in Minnesota basketball.
Don't you agree? Different body language,
yeah,
for Southern Miss to start the half as opposed to the game.
Something gone a little sideways here, and maybe a little bit of depleted energy stores for Southern Miss.
I think a little bit of Austin Hollins got him.
That too. Matthew out top. Boy, Eliason making himself big, trying to post up. Trey Hollins on the baseline, trying to throw the old hammer pass and out of bounds. Couldn't find the other Hollins. Walker into the ball game for the Gophers, and Jeremiah Eason comes in for Southern Miss. Talked about the points that they get. There's Eason, big body. A few guys with a little bit of length for this undersized Southern Miss crew. Next year they got Rashawn Suarez coming in, an all-conference guard out of the College of Central Florida. Great JUCO league. Some great coaches down there too. Inside, Knocked away nicely. It's going to stay Southern Miss basketball. 16 seconds to go on the shot clock.
First half, that's a dunk. This half, Minnesota's doing a much better job of leaving their man and getting into the lane from the help side. That time tipped it away. First half, it was a dunk.
Eason on the dribble handoff. Strong move underneath. Bucket good by Bengaya.
And that was a heck of a move, Mark, because Mo Walker had moved over in great defensive position. Put his hands up, didn't want to foul. Went right over it.
Double team right at midcourt. Tough place to pick it up. Mossy almost got ripped out of bounds. And it's Southern Miss basketball. Minnesota leading by 5. Time out on the floor. Perplexed head coach Patino. Back after this.
The Firestone Grand Prix of St. Petersburg, Sunday at 3 Eastern, noon Pacific on ABC.
There is no substitute for experience, for what reality teaches you firsthand, in the face of danger and under the most demanding circumstances. Experience builds character. Experience builds confidence. And experience has built this. Introducing the 2014 GLK, the engineering and the experience of Mercedes-Benz. See your authorized dealer for exceptional offers through Mercedes-Benz Financial Services.
We got our KFC Dip'ems combos here. Extra crispy tenders.
Then they add the sauces. Beautiful harmony and melody combining. Slow turn.
KFC Dip'ems combo. All this for $5.
How could switchgrass in Argentina change engineering in Dubai, aluminum production in South Africa, and the aerospace industry in the U.S.? At T. Rowe Price, we understand the connections of a complex global economy. It's just one reason over 75% of our mutual funds beat their 10-year Lipper average. T. Rowe Price. Invest with confidence. Request a prospectus or summary prospectus with investment information, risks, fees, and expenses to read and consider carefully before investing.
It's gonna save us a ton. Spring can call it whatever they want.
Come on, family is not a word.
Is the F from family, or is it from friends? Or did they just add an R?
Forget about that. It's not a word.
Dad, it's like spork or keytar. You're my father, I'm your friend. This is our family.
You can't mush words together like that.
Mais tu aimes le brunch, papa?
Oh, guilty as charged. Daddy does love brunch.
With rates as low as $25 a month each, who are you going to add to your Sprint family?
Happy connecting.
Be one with it, and it will be one with you. Be one with your tires, and the road will be one with you. Hankook Tires.
Minnesota leading by 5 with 15:40 to go here in the second half. The winner goes to New York, but here's what transpired a moment ago. Richard Pitino getting an explanation from one of the officials, obviously bothered by the interpretation/explanation, and feeling the brunt of his frustration was that chair. And his team subsequent to that. Courtside behavior by coaches has been a little bit of an issue this year at times. Dan.
Not with me. No, it's not. If only we could live in the antiseptic society that the media wants us to live in. Basketball is emotional. It's tough. Sometimes you got to react in a certain way to get your team going, get yourself going, get the refs going.
Yeah. That kind of stuff happened in my house every day growing up.
And look at you now.
Yeah, look at me now. It works.
That's right. Well, if only everybody. What are you supposed to do on a sideline? I mean, I know, okay, picking up a chair and throwing it down isn't exactly. But you know what? People are emotional. It's part of life.
There's a look at that last play. Great hustle by Alan Macy. Southern Miss basketball down by 5. How did they get their mojo back here, man?
You know, they need to get some steals. They got to steal. And I thought that energized them. Timeout came. They haven't finished in that. They've lost the ball. They're just not playing nearly as hard as they did earlier or nearly as hard as Minnesota is now.
They're giving it away too much as well.
See what happens when you throw a chair down? The team gets a steal, picks it up defensively.
There's Hollins on the weak side. tell you, the one thing about Southern Miss, they will stay in that half-court zone. Walker inside with the size advantage. Gets fouled on the play by Jeremiah Eason. ESPN's coverage of the NIT tournament continues on Wednesday. Quarterfinal double dip at 7. It all starts. Louisiana taking on Florida State. And then number 2 seed Cal taking on number 1 seed SMU. Wednesday night on ESPN2. And Leonard Hamilton, Stan Jones, Jacob Ridnour, great coaching staff down there in Tallahassee. They have their team playing some great basketball right now, as they scored a ton of points in that game against Georgetown. They can really turn up offensively. Ian Miller got it going a little bit.
I had him early in the year against in Puerto Rico, and I thought it was a top 20 team. I mean, they played great. Ian Miller can really get going, as you said. Big, strong, tough team. Scuffled a little bit during the year with consistency, I think.
Some injuries.
Yeah.
Aaron Thomas also playing some good basketball. Great doubleheader coming up. NIT action. Meanwhile, whistling a foul against Minnesota. Which one of these two teams will make their way to New York City? It's one of the common threads you hear about from the players. Able to play on basketball's biggest stage at Madison Square Garden. There's Watson. Got a clean look. Massey back the other way. Misi pulls it out. King got it.
He's had good looks all day. He's moved around the zone pretty well, too. That time from the top of the key. He's been in the middle. He's been on the baseline. He's had some good looks. Knocked that one down.
Nice feed to Bengaya. Saw Walker and kicked it out. Good decision, but a bad shot there by Brooks. Back come the Gophers. Dre Hollins. That's Austin Hollins, and he finds it. An 11-point lead. Timeout, Southern Miss. Maybe my partner was right. Maybe it's all about the chair.
Pizza Hut already makes great pizzas. Now they're delivering award-winning wing joint quality wings from Wing Street. It's time to put them to the test with a real wing expert, the Kansas Jayhawk.
All right, great to see you. We got a Wing Street delivery for you here.
Oh, yeah.
Was this like your buddy or something? Yeah, just look away, dude. Avert your eyes.
Get 8 bone-out wings for $5 or $1 more for bone-in. Go for greatness. Wing Street from Pizza Hut.
You got some beefy wings yourself there, big boy.
It's chaos out there, but the M-Class sees in your blind spot. Pulls you back into your lane. Even brakes all by itself. It's almost like it couldn't crash, even if it tried. The 2014 M-Class. See your authorized dealer for exceptional offers through Mercedes-Benz Financial Services.
Look at you.
Can I pay your cloud, please?
Sure.
Whoa.
He doesn't like to be touched there.
Pet the rainbow. Taste the rainbow.
Staples has everything you need to keep a germ-free office. From gloves to wipes to cleaners. Everything. Except germ-free coworkers. Thousands of products added every day to Staples.com. Even protective suits. Staples. Make more happen.
What are you doing? Watching the tournament on my TV. What are you doing?
That is not a TV.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is, because I can watch all my TV live with the hopper from Dish.
From Dish?
Dish.
Dish.
Only Dish.
Oh, only Dish.
Uh-oh. Incoming. Hey, boss. Woo! I love working.
Do you ever work?
Dude, I'm trying to watch the game.
The Hopper from Dish brings you all your live games anywhere. Only Dish.
Well, sometimes, as a head coach, Dan, you've been there. You got to find that right button to press, that right string to pull, and maybe it goes back to the frustration in the chair slam here. They've gone on a 6-0 run since. Not highly endorsed by the profession as a whole, though, is it? Or maybe it is. I don't know.
Here's the deal.
Talk to me.
When you're coaching,
right,
you want to win this game, and then you'll deal with whatever you got to deal with after.
Okay.
The AD coming in now, Richard.
Right.
We don't really need that.
Right.
The press. We need to straighten out coaches. They're great. Let me win the game, and then we'll talk about all that stuff.
Fits under the file. Better to ask for forgiveness than permission,
That's
right?
Exactly right.
See what Southern Miss does coming out of this timeout. They need a bucket in a big way. Down double figs for the first time. They throw it into Michael Craig. Good closeout. Here's Watson, 10 on the shot clock. Inside to Boardingham. Double team, nowhere to go. Swarmed, got his way out of it, but it's because he traveled. And another Southern Miss turnover.
Next time you see a post double on the block, watch if Southern Miss, their four-man, puts his head right under the bucket. Nobody did that last time. The defense spread out, played man-to-man, nowhere to go for Boardman. You have to have a guy put his head under the rim to shrink the defense. It allows you to kick it out. Southern Miss didn't do it.
The Eagles already with 4 turnovers here in the second half. Walker with a little bully ball underneath. Man, he just muscled his way to the bucket.
That was great. That was really good by Walker. He put 2 feet in the lane, and it was not going to be stopped.
Pass and a nice move underneath. Boardingham got fouled.
This is how you play post offense, Mark. Just get heels in the lane. Watch this. Watch it. Bam, bam. Look at where he catches the ball right there. He's got a right foot almost under the bucket, a left foot, and then he acts big. Don't act little if you're big. Be proud and be big.
Boardingham knocks down the first of 2, a 67% free throw shooter. Yeah. Walker, the former member of the Canadian junior national team, and you talked about his great dedication and shedding a ton of weight and getting in better condition, and can't help but benefit his game overall.
Well, that just means he bought into what Richard Pitino was selling, and when there's a new coach, you have a choice. Are you going to buy in, or are you going to fight him? Usually it works out when you buy into the coach. When you fight the coach, it doesn't work out for anybody.
Lead down to 11 now. At what point does Southern Miss even tinker with the idea of coming out of that defense in a half court, that zone?
I just think they extend it. They've extended it here a little bit, picked up at half court, and maybe get some trapping out of it. They have that in their arsenal, but I don't think you'll see them go man-to-man unless it's one of the deals with, you know, a minute to go, 30 seconds to go, something like that, need a foul.
Matthew on the drive and kicked. Neal wide open, missed it. And back come the Eagles.
Yeah, interesting lineup here. If Southern Miss can be a little bit patient.
Nice feed inside. Jeremiah Eason got blocked. Check that. That was Michael Craig. And Malik Smith still trying to find the range, entrenched in that prolonged shooting slump. Nice drive to the bucket. Almost a three-point play opportunity for Deontay Houston. Timeout on the floor. 11:45 to go in the second half. One of these teams playing for a trip to New York.
Mommy, what is neutering?
Big man coming through.
Right now, lease a BMW X3 for as low as $419 a month.
The Pacers is another team that don't like us.
1, 2, 3. Hey.
Since they hate us, then I guess we got to return the favor.
You're the defending champions, so you want to beat the defending champions.
It's the top 2 teams in the East. Every game against these guys is going to be a statement game.
We're fighting to be the top dog, the last man standing.
They're a team that we have to go through to get to where we want to get to, and that's the finals.
The beasts of the East collide. Heat, Pacers, tomorrow at 8 Eastern on ESPN, presented by State Farm.
This is so great, date night. And this is such a good movie, too. The end when it's revealed the grandmother did it, it's like, hello. Ow, hey, was that Jordan? Whoa, that's cool.
Now all Hanes underwear is tagless. Go tagless.
I may not look it, but I'm pretty tech savvy. I just saved 15% on car insurance in 15 minutes.
Don't live in Beatrice's world. Live in the modern world, where 7.5 minutes could save you on car insurance. Esurance. Click or call.
Stand back, Suburbia. Behold, the Craftsman tractor. With an industry-leading 6-inch turning radius that's 66% tighter than a John Deere tractor. And with a top speed of 7.5 miles per hour, it's 26% faster. It's the antidote to other tractors. That's the quality and innovative performance you can expect from Craftsman, exclusively at Sears.
You know, sometimes it's about the immediacy and finality of your career coming to an end, and Austin Hollins senses that in producing Dan Dockich at a big-time rate right now.
Well, the game was going along pretty good for Southern Miss, and then this guy just took over, and Southern Miss did a bad job after the second three of locating Austin Hollins. And credit Richard Pitino. He has moved Austin Hollins all over the court against this zone, and Hollins has found the right spots. He should. He's a senior. He knows how to play, but credit Richard Pitino for putting him in the right positions.
Right now it's Deontay Houston at the foul line for Southern Miss. Missing the first of two, a 64% free throw shooter. Well, folks, the journey to the Frozen Four in Philadelphia continues with regional semis and finals from Worcester, St. Paul, and Cincinnati, Saturday at 4 on ESPNU, and watch ESPN. Find information on every championship at NCAA.com, the official online home for all 89 NCAA championships. Saw Smith hesitate before deciding to pass that last one. A little ball fake there. This guy that came with Pitino from FIU. Hollins raising up. And Walker with the rebound. Foul going to be called against Southern Miss. They're having a tough time dealing with his size.
He's opposite the ball, well taught to get opposite the shot. 75% go the other way, and he's just bigger, stronger. You'll see here, ball's going to ricochet opposite.
That's the third foul against Birmingham.
Just kind of, I wanted to say something, but I didn't know if it was appropriate, so I'm not gonna. But they were not exactly physically the same as Mo Walker.
Got it. Here's Hollins. Don't get fired, Dan.
Boy, is that good.
On the baseline.
That's so good.
Great execution. Yeah, Austin Hollins off with some good ball movement. And the lead up to 13 now. Minnesota in its home building trying to go out on a winning note. And right now, a little over 10 minutes away from a trip to New York City. And the semifinals of the NIT, underneath a foul going to be called against Walker. He's going to stop the clock and put Southern Miss on the free throw line.
You know what was so good about that last possession? You mentioned it. Malik Smith in there to score. And he made a play for somebody else, which was Austin Hollins. And Austin Hollins had crossed the floor, gone to 3 different spots, right baseline, middle, and then left baseline, found an opening, and Smith delivered. And then he was happy about delivering, which is real growth.
I saw him think about it a couple times and then deferred. There was one.
This is a clinic on offense against his own.
How tough is it to prepare for a team like Southern Miss and their half-court zone defense? How many teams do you see like that in the Big Ten Conference?
None. They play a very unique zone in that they man up the ball, and then they'll man once the ball goes to the middle. But I believe this. I think the less time you have, the better you are. Like we saw that with Syracuse. Dayton had 1 day, and they played pretty well against that zone. You can overthink a zone.
At the other end, they're looking at that zone again. Do you just run your man stuff against it sometimes?
You can, absolutely.
Long jumper by Hollins, no good. Rebounded by the Eagles. Still within striking distance as we approach the midway point here of the second half. Good dime inside and the bucket good by Bengaya.
That's a key right now. Southern Miss passing the ball ahead and keeping offense going.
And Pitino calls timeout. Looks at his players and wonders what happened. Somebody blew a defensive assignment.
You've been around Coach Pitino Sr. Doesn't Richard seem exactly
strikingly familiar and
I mean,
similar?
Their other son who came here in a chicken suit, I'm not sure what his mannerisms are, but this guy.
Still trying to figure that one out.
There he is.
The associate head coach for season at Louisville, and after that a successful stint winning at FIU the Conference USA, pardon me, the Sun Belt tournament. It was tough to keep track with the changing landscape of the teams, but yeah, they won the Sun Belt Conference tournament last year. And mentioned he brought Malik Smith with him from FIU. He got a waiver to play immediately here at Minnesota. Looking at some full court pressure here. King gets it. 9.5 minutes to go. Dre Hollins to Austin Hollins. 7 on the shot clock. Dre had it blocked and a foul called on the play on Matt Bengaya. A little overzealous defensively. That's going to be a 3-shot foul, it looks like. Hey, what? We have a very unique broadcast position here. If you're just tuning in, and of course, and you don't already know about this unique building, Williams Arena, the broadcast position and some of the fans, the first few rows, actually below the level of the court. Thus, a little bit difficult at times to get a great perspective on where exactly, there we are, where exactly guys are standing on the court, whether they're behind the line. And you mentioned, Dan, guys actually look a little taller than they really are, right?
It's an odd sight to see how tall people are. Everybody kind of looks the same height from down here. You know, I think,
does it affect you as a player? You played here.
Not even a little. Once you get playing it, you know what? It looks like you would fall off of here. You know, the sidelines hustling. I'm not sure I've ever seen a player fall off.
I've been doing play-by-play at ESPN for some 23 years. This is just my second game at this building. Still getting used to the trappings and its uniqueness. Jumper good by Neil Watson. And it's now a 10-point game. Plenty of time for Southern Miss.
This is what I was talking about, Mark. You see they just extend and then they go trap. That's their man-to-man.
See if they can convert off the turnover. Nice feed inside. Whistle. Great contact shot. Wow. Bengaya took a blow and still was able to get the shot off.
Shocking this one doesn't go in. Great inside pass. Watch this. Hit, takes a hit, stays in the air, flips it.
He bounced off Eliason. Eliason actually bounced off him.
He
too.
did. And you know why? So many kids broad jump, meaning they jump forward. They don't make their best jump, particularly guards when they get around the bucket. You know, when you make your best jump and you have any type of athletic ability, you can play through contact. When you broad jump, when you jump forward and you get hit, you fall and the ball doesn't get over the front of the rim.
So you're trying to say they should be jumping up instead of out?
Yeah, always try to put 2 hands on the backboard, and that'll give you, and put your chin up on the rim, and that'll give you your best jump.
He missed both free throws.
How about that? Yeah. Instead of 3, they get none.
Great opportunity. A couple of subs getting ready to come back into the ball game. Michael Craig and Aaron Brown. Dangerous cross-court pass and dangerously close to our position here. Trey Hollins couldn't get a handle on that. Southern Miss will try and mount a charge here with 8:28 to go. It's been a relatively quiet night for Watson. Actually, he's got 10 points, but he had 18 in the last game.
They need to go back to Watson here. He just knocked in a big 3, ducked him under the big man on the right side, give it up and go to work.
Tough pass inside, barely got through. Eason never really got a handle on it. Out of bounds, it'll stay Southern Miss basketball again. Coach Tyndall all up in Gerald Brooks's grill because of that pass.
Yeah, he wanted the ball reversed with a little bit of patience. You can spread Minnesota out and get what you want off the dribble, but you can't if you don't have patience to reverse the ball a few times.
15 on the shot clock for the Eagles. Brown off the weak side, curl and blocked in the paint. And it's going to stay Southern Miss basketball.
You know who's playing a great game? Mo Walker in the middle. Mo Walker is where he is supposed to be all of the time. That would be a bad call.
Hey, folks, Wednesday night. Great night of NBA basketball on ESPN. The two top teams in the East. Number 1, the Pacers. Number 2, the Heat. Battle it out in Indianapolis. Just one half of our double dip, Jazz and Grizzlies. The second half, the Miami Heat have been struggling of late. It's NBA Wednesday presented by State Farm. It all starts with Kia NBA Countdown at 7 o'clock. And LeBron James and the Miami Heat have gone a little bit sideways of late. But a big game. The Pacers use so much energy to jump out in front as we look at J.J. Barea of the Timberwolves and Ricky Rubio and Gorgie Dieng also on hand tonight. Dieng, of course, played for Rick Pitino at Louisville. But I'm going to call Miami in that game tonight, although they struggle big time in Indianapolis. Of course, a lot depends on whether Dwayne Wade's going to be available. He has indicated he will play tomorrow night.
The guy who's really struggled is Roy Hibbert. Roy Hibbert has been no good.
Yeah.
And he needs to be good for the Pacers. Good move inside.
Eason with a tough bucket underneath. The lead down to 8. And here you see them extend that full court zone pressure. A whistle and a foul going to be called against number 23, Gerald Brooks. Time on the floor. Hey, you talk about needing some good passing and some dimes. Ricky Rubio, El Fenomeno. That's your man.
It's Pete Maravich.
Is that my Wendy's salad? Please, with these ingredients? Oh, look, a Wendy's cup. Yeah, mine. Okay, that's mine too.
Make no mistake, Wendy's new salads are irresistible, like the new barbecue ranch or Asian cashew chicken.
Now that's better.
Mommy, what is neutering?
Big man coming through.
Right now, lease a BMW X3 for as low as $419 a month.
Blah 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 blah.
It doesn't matter what I say.
Blah blah.
Because the all-new HTC One is designed for people who form their own opinions. So go ahead, ask the internet. Blah blah blah. The all-new HTC One M8.
Feels pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah. Boom. Bam. Yes.
Honey. Seriously?
Lowe's wide line of outdoor power equipment includes Cobalt, Husqvarna, Troy-Bilt, and John Deere. Buy a Cobalt handheld outdoor power tool and get a free battery.
Is that my Wendy's salad? Please, with these ingredients? Oh, look, a Wendy's cup. Yeah, mine. Okay, that's mine too.
Make no mistake, Wendy's new salads are irresistible, like the new barbecue ranch or Asian cashew chicken.
Now that's better.
All right, Coach here with a studio update. Women's tournament rolls on. Iowa, Louisville Cardinals. They'll be playing their home gym if they get to the Sweet 16. Buzzer beater time. Louisville up 17 on Iowa. They're just starting the second half, now up 22. A&M up by 4. West Virginia trails by 2. And South Carolina up by 9. They're the #1 seed in their region. Boys, back to you.
All right, Jonathan, 8-point game here. Southern Miss still coming with that heat. But the Gophers handling the press that time. They're going to run a little offense here. Matthew out top. Matthew, the former transfer from Morehead State when Donnie Tyndall was the head coach there. Walked on as a freshman. Was looking for a scholarship as a sophomore. Coach told him no. Decided to transfer to JUCO. Played out in Arizona. And then signed here as a junior with Minnesota. Walker inside with a soft touch. It all worked out well for Minnesota. Up by 10.
Worked out well because the ball was reversed. Next thing you know, the defense is spread. Walker has one-on-one with a guy that's about 30, 40 pounds lighter and probably 4 or 5 inches smaller. Walker's played a great game here tonight on both ends of the floor.
Walker with an efficient 8 points, 9 rebounds, close to a double-double off the miss. There's Matthew. Minnesota can afford to be a little bit deliberate, although you don't want to take your foot off the gas that much. Walker with an open look. A little bit of a side spin rotation on that J, Coach.
He's got a little global spin going.
There's Watson.
But he made a good play. He looked shy. He looked down, and he looked for his shot.
Great drive and kick. Watson looking for his. It rattles out. They could have used that one.
Best look they've had in a while.
Dre Hollins on the drive. Step back. Might have been fouled. A little bit of a push on the hand check. Quick move. Three-pointer. Another clean look off the mark. That time it was Brown misfiring.
Well, that's the way Southern Miss wants to play. Push, reverse, keep looking, keep probing, get a good one. Just missed it.
Under 6 minutes to go. The winner of this game goes to New York City, playing the semifinals of the NIT. Minnesota won the NIT back in '98. We're there in 2012 and lost in the semifinals. Joey King contributing to the New York trip cause right there.
Joey King played behind the defense, textbook zone offense. Get a guy in the middle, throw up the ball, cut a cutter underneath the defense, and Mo Walker delivered.
Looked like they found a little cheat code to bust that zone. And Minnesota now tying a season high, Dan, with 21 assists in the ball game. The meter's still running with over 5 minutes to go.
Yeah, against a very aggressive Southern Miss team. You know, this is last year, Big East final. Syracuse was crushing Louisville at half. Rick Pitino did exactly what Richard is now doing. He put 4 different moves in the second half. Double high post, run the baseline, all kind of different stuff. And Richard is doing the exact same thing today against Southern Miss.
A 12-point deficit now for Southern Miss, a team that has been so successful on the road so far this year. They've won 14 road games. Almost half of their wins coming on the road, and that's not easy. It doesn't matter what league you play in, right?
Well, every league is tough, and to go on the road and win 14 is remarkable.
Trying to get one more here, which would propel them to New York City. Watson looking inside, and a bad entry pass. Matthew. King, the trailer, going to pull it out. Here's King. 10 on the shot clock. Austin Hollins driving the baseline. Whistling a foul going to be called. And now you start taking a little inventory on the timeouts and the team foul situation. That's the 16th foul against Southern Miss as Craig comes back in for Eason.
Just felt it. I mean, this game is still in the balance, but you just felt it coming out the second half. Southern Miss, not a lot of energy.
Great hustle by Watson, almost got the pick. Goes up over the top and crashes to the court. Got to play on. Dre Hollins rebounded by Southern Miss. There's Watson trying it again and missing again. Great determination on the rebound by Bengaya, who earned a trip to the foul line.
That's pretty good here by Watson. Avoids a foul. I don't think he touched him, Mark.
I think he was. That's why I think he was trying to avoid it.
Oh yeah, he definitely was, but they got him a little bit.
Just
with the
brushed him a bit.
Great no call.
Got to hire a stuntman for that. As this time Bengaya, after missing the last two, knocked down the free throw. And you know what? When those hurts don't hurt as much when you realize that you might be playing the last 4-17 of your season. The guy goes 1 for 2, and I'm not sure who that went in off. It might have been a friendly fire bucket. But either way, it's a 9-point game.
Well, that's the second time Southern Miss has come from the left side and gotten a rebound off a free throw. Now you're going to see all kind of traps.
That's going to be out of bounds. And they're going to say, Minnesota basketball, they're going to give the bucket to Boardingham, but upon further review, Dan, you call it.
If you can figure that one out, you're better than me.
I had LASIK. I'll give it to Boardingham.
Mommy, what is neutering?
Big man coming through.
Right now, lease a BMW X3 for as low as $419 a month.
Take that, Jersey Tucker.
That's a technical, Sunshine. You know the rules. We play hard, but we don't play dirty. A good sport shakes hands, win or lose. So get back out there and make good.
Sorry, man. I got next round.
Hey, drinks on this guy. Grab a seat. The game is on.
Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings, beer, sports.
Hey, what about me?
With an innovative shower head plus wireless speaker, Kohler is the proud sponsor of Singing in the Shower.
Europe has big buildings like ours, only famous and older and gorgeous and not like ours at all. Go and smell the roses.
Oh, 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 let's go. Oh, 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 la, 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 na, na, na.
Some things just go together, like auto and home insurance. Bundle them together at Progressive, and you save big on both. Hey, it's me! And there's my dog! There's my steps! I should stop talking. Perfectly paired savings. Now that's Progressive.
All right, Coach here with news from the NBA. Kevin Durant goes nuts tonight. He has 37. This game is going to overtime right now, tied at 111. Why is this significant? It's his 36th straight game with at least 25 points, the longest streak since MJ had 40, all the way back in the 86-87 season. Now the Thunder have 11 games left, meaning if Durant scores 25 in all 11, he'll pass the Big O for second all-time. Plenty more on SportsCenter after the game. Mark?
All right, 59 to go. A trip to New York on the line. Matthew over to Hollins. Three on the shot clock. Got to get to work. Walker fouled inside. Boy, Southern Miss fouling at the worst possible time. after playing good defense for 33.5 seconds. That's going to be the 4th foul on Boardingham.
He's just too big. Well, that time they tried to front him, and the pass over the top help was late. But give this kid credit. He has had a terrific night. You see the stat sheet is stuffed.
Walker knocks down the first, a 67% free throw shooter on the season. Minnesota about 3.5 minutes away from a trip to New York City and a semifinal appearance in the NIT. They'll play either Florida State or Louisiana Tech, who play tomorrow, part of a double dip on ESPN. Minnesota looking for its 23rd win of the season. On the drive, Watson on the baseline. Great dime. Wow, what a pass to Boardingham for the slam.
Going left, jumping in the air, whipping it back around right. That was a great play.
Now the trap near midcourt. Minnesota just got it over in time. And here's Matthew. Under 3 minutes to go. 9-point deficit for the Eagles. And you always get a little bit of a feel-good buzz whenever you win your last home game. If that were to be the case here, Holland's jumper blocked and possessed by Southern Miss. 3-on-2. Watson fades to the corner and knocks down the three. It's a 6-point game and almost a steal. Great hustle. And a big collision as Watson careened beyond the court. I talked about the unique landscape here. The court, you see that about 2 feet higher than the pavement below, and another one of our cameramen took a hit there.
Watch Watson after he makes a three, gets in there. I said I haven't seen anybody fall off. Now I have. Can't see it, but Watson fell. Lucky he didn't get hurt.
That's a good thing he's all right, and we've lost one of our courtside looks there temporarily. But this game down to a 6-point margin. Plenty of time for Southern Miss, and to Donnie Tyndall's credit, they haven't panicked late in the game here. King with an open look and a big shot. Timeout called, Minnesota. The lead back up to 8.
Man, Donnie Tyndall, he was telling his team, get back. Last possession, they had taken away the middle. Nobody paid a real attention to him, and Joey King just snuck into the middle and knocked it in.
There've been some nice, interesting adjustments against that Southern Miss zone throughout the course of the night. Here's one more look at the brackets. The winner of this one plays either Florida State or Louisiana Tech. That game's 7 o'clock tomorrow night on ESPN2. A trip to New York City on the line. And what about the play of Clemson and KJ McDaniel? He has been spectacular over the last several games.
Yeah, he's been terrific. Brad Burnell taking his team to New York City. They rushed the court after that win.
Hey, man, they're still playing. I can't.
I'm with them.
I can't be down on anyone that's still happy about playing this deep into March.
I agree. Totally agree.
2:08 to go, and Southern Miss trying to keep its season alive.
You don't need anything forced to if you're Southern Miss. Pretty good move as long as they don't foul by Minnesota. But just go to the rim.
Michael Craig turned the Jets on, and that's going to be an offensive foul. Vengaya way out of control, and the big fella stood in there.
Here's why it's a good move. Southern Miss got sped up on that possession. Now, it's a risky move, but it's a good move when you know the personnel of your team. You know you're going to guard the rim, and you know the personnel of the opponent, which means they're going to play fast. They're going to get faster, not slower. Minnesota took advantage.
Hollins weaving through traffic. King, nice little high-low with Walker. Walker was actually wide open if he turned around. 1:45 to go. King with another open look. That's like stealing for him. That's easy.
Started out in the middle, missed a couple. But between he, Walker, and Hollins, those three guys have solved this zone.
Lead back up to 10. Southern Miss just a minute ago had it down to 4. Jumper by Houston is good. That's 3. And the lead back down to 7. Timeout called by Southern Miss with 1:16 to go. Here's what's coming up next on SportsCenter. Bench is clear in a college baseball game tonight. KD against Dirk in a great shootout. OKC against Dallas. As every game precious right now in the Western Conference. That NBA race. And meanwhile, in that college baseball bench clearing, Florida State was involved in that game. Jameis Winston, of course, a pitcher on that staff for the Seminoles. That was Florida State against Florida. All the details and video coming up on SportsCenter after the game. 1:16 to go. Trying to raise the roof here at the barn. Think about all the great history here, great players, great coaches. Musselman, Dave Winfield. Of course, depending on your perspective, some people don't look at the historical side of it. They want a brand new building with the luxury boxes and the suites and all the fancy trappings of the new buildings.
That guy in the striped pants right there.
Tell me about it.
He came up to me and asked me if I was Mark Godfrey. And I was dumb enough. I should have said yes. It seemed, you know, tell him, we didn't make free throws. Yeah, that guy right there. I think he was the guy. He had those pants on. Came up and said, "Are you Mark Godfrey? You the coach of North Carolina State?"
It's a good thing you didn't ask if you were Mark Jones. Because I'm a little shorter than Godfrey, you know.
I was just happy he mistook me for someone with hair. Hey, right now, if you're Southern Miss, one trap, then you got to think about fouling.
Good pressure on the inbound passer, but they get it in. And Matthew, the one-man press break. Double team, good feet inside. Walker fouled as he went up by Eason.
And Joey King made a nice play. He came back to the ball like a wide receiver with his quarterback scrambling, came back in the middle, got the ball, looked straight down, and there was Walker.
I tell you, no substitute for speed and handles. And Matthew had that in abundance on that press break. Sending Maurice Walker to the foul line, a 67% foul shooter on the season. And you can call that rotation a slider, a knuckleball, a fastball, whatever you want to call it. Call it good tonight. Eason going to grab a seat. Lead back up to 8 with 1:08 to go. Tell you what, Walker, a productive night here. One rebound and career highs in assists and blocks.
How about that shot?
Wow. Watson with 16 now. Lead at 6.
Got it.
And a great turnover opportunity here. Watson left it short and rebounded by Hollins, who draws the foul. Boy, a lot of grit and fight still left in Southern Miss.
Well, it's one of the reasons that I said one trap and then let's foul, because you want to extend this game because of that grit and fight.
And now for tonight's 5-star player of the game, brought to you by Wrangler. It's Austin Hollins, who caught fire midway through the first quarter and ends up, so far anyway, with 26 points. Great three-point shooting, and what a way to go out to cap off your career here. A 4-year senior. A career high 27 points. A wonderful way to punctuate his career. You know, Doug McDermott had a great statement when he said, you know, I wish more players would do this, stay 4 years in college. And of course, options vary from player to player, but What's not fun about doing what guys like McDermott and Hollins do? I don't get it.
Nothing.
King with the contest. That might just do it. Out of bounds, it'll be Southern Miss basketball.
Man, if you expose the ball at all against Southern Miss, they're going to go after it. They're going to knock it off of you or take it out of your hands.
I would guess that they've had a great amount of deflections tonight. Here's Brooks. Three ball is good. Tell you what, they are going to take this down to the last 10th of a second, down by just 5 with 32.5 to go, and Brooks holding that left leg. Let's go back to Jonathan Coachman in the studio. Jonathan?
All right, Mark, thank you. We've got some late women's games in the tournament, second-round games. Winners of all these games go on to the Sweet 16. Louisville up 30 on Iowa. They'll play at home this weekend. A&M up 8. LSU, West Virginia will play Louisville, and South Carolina, the top seed, looks like they will move on as well. Mark, back to you, bud.
All right, Coach. Official review right now on that last shot. We're going to get a translation and an explanation here. What we see on the clock is accurate. They're going to keep it at 33.5 seconds. It's about 33 too much for Richard Pitino right now.
Same thing here. You know, pressure the inbounds, and with this lineup, you're going to have to be very careful if you're Andre Hollins throwing the ball in, because there's a lot of quickness and really good hands out here for Southern Miss. But then I think you trap one time, try to get a hand on the ball, and then you just foul, and away you go. Make them make free throws.
Joey King, the best free throw shooter. Actually, Andre Hollins shoots it at 85%. He's the best foul shooter out there right now. And they get it in to Matthew. And Austin Hollins gets it. He shoots 76% from the line. 28.5 to go. And Coach Tyndall making those defensive situational substitutions as Gerald Brooks is going to check back into the ball game. Well, Dad Lionel certainly would be proud of his son tonight.
Should be proud of his son every night. He's really handled himself well here at Minnesota. He's been a terrific student athlete. It hasn't always gone well. Obviously came here with Tubby Smith and now Richard Pitino, but he has been nothing but a credit to the University of Minnesota and to the Hollins family.
He admits that during that freshman year there were some turbulent times and moments of introspection which found him thinking about maybe transferring, but it was with a lot of love and support from his family that he got through it. Almost a travel by Watson. Deep three no good by Brooks. The putback good underneath by Boardingham. And it's a 5-point game, but just 17 seconds to go. King gets it into Hollins, who draws another foul. And another procession back to the foul line. And they have really done a great job at the stripe tonight, Dan. 16 of 17 from the foul line for Richard Pitino's team. And listen to this nice chant by the supportive fans.
Did you see Richard Pitino?
He asked them to keep it down. Come on, Coach.
Come on,
You're going to kill his vibe. You got to bask in all the applause here.
It doesn't matter today. That kid's not missing.
Boy, Coach Pitino even orchestrating the fans.
I love it.
7-point game, 14 seconds to go. Watson. And that'll do it. With 4.6 to go, Andre Hollins. Here was Pitino a moment ago when Austin Hollins was at the foul line. I don't think Austin really needs the quiet to make the free throws, does he?
Hey, as a coach, you want to orchestrate everything. Like I used to tell guys, sit down. Don't stand on the end of the bench when a guy's shooting free throws. Now when the game's over, you can laugh about it, but until that game is over.
So Minnesota going to make its way back to New York City for semifinal action against either Louisiana Tech or Florida State. That game tomorrow night on ESPN at 7 o'clock. Tune in for that. And on Austin Hollins coming out of the game. Listen to this. It didn't all come to an end tonight, and that's where they're headed. New York City, 33rd Street, 7th Avenue, Madison Square Garden for the next basketball game. Dre Hollins is going to join the crew on the bench. Even the guy in the chicken suit's going to make the trip, I'm guessing, Coach.
Promise you he's going to. There was a chicken up there. I don't think it was live, but there was a chicken up there as well.
Well, they do call it the barn. And that'll do it. 81-73, Minnesota with its 23rd win of the season against 13 defeats. Great year for Southern Miss. Co-regular season champs in Conference USA, 29-7. There's a look at the brackets. Clemson and Minnesota have already punched their tickets to New York City. Who will join them? We'll find out tomorrow night, finding out starting at 7 o'clock on ESPN. 81-73 the final. Coming up next at SportsCenter. For Dan Dockich and our entire talented crew behind the camera, you never get a chance to see So Long from Minneapolis. Right now, we get you to SportsCenter.